Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NASHoles, the podcast where two assholes who like to think they know a thing or two about NASCAR talk about NASCAR. I'm Benny B, joined alongside my very good friend Drew the Man Scar Man, and you guys can follow us on X at NASHolesPod, on Instagram at NASHoles_podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just look up NASHoles, a NASCAR podcast, and make sure you give us that 5 stars on Spotify and keep the notification bell on so you always know when we release an episode. Drew, we just had Throwback weekend. There were some awesome paint schemes. There was some awesome racing. Not really until the end. And, I finally got some merch, man.
About time.
I'm not going to be merchless Benny. I mean, like, you got the Chase Elliott, and you have way more merch than I do. And I got a nice little poster that Darlington gave me. So, very, very cool,
yeah.
man. Very
now
fun at the racetrack.
Now you know where that $15 went for that piss poor sandwich you ate there.
Don't let me even get into it. I paid $11 for this freaking sandwich. It was like a buff. They call it a palmetto po' boy, okay? And I was reading the description of it, and it was like Cajun chicken with blah 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 pickles and all this other crap, right? On a hoagie roll. I'm like, oh, this sounds really good, man. I'm like, I'm gonna get this, and I get this thing, and it comes out, and it's literally just chicken tenders with buffalo sauce. Okay, so not even Cajun, dude. And
were they at least crunchy? Were they?
What?
Were they crunchy? Were they crunchy chicken tenders at least?
The tenders were fine, but
okay, nothing's worse than biting into a chicken tender sandwich.
They loaded it with the sauce. They slapped a bunch of mayonnaise on it, and I ate half of it, and like it was getting all over me, and I couldn't find a freaking napkin. They didn't have napkins anywhere.
You just find someone wearing a shirt of your least favorite driver and just start wiping your hands on that shirt.
I should have, and you know what I should have done? I should have found a Larson fan and freaking screwed it up for my boy, man. But we'll get into that later, Drew. Great experience.
Did you sucker punch a Larson fan on your way out? Were you just so pissed off at the end of that race?
Yeah.
You found a little 5-year-old boy in a Larson hat. You just fucking soccer kick him. Fucking, you ruined Blaney's race, Larson.
He's just a kid.
And the kid's like, you're like, fucking Larson.
Yeah, but Drew, overall, great experience at Darlington, and this is only my second time there, second NASCAR race ever, and it seems like I'm going to be learning something every time I go there because I found out where all the merch haulers are. Looks like you don't even need a ticket to the race to go over there and do that, so that's really cool. And I found out where I'm going to try to find tickets every time. Where we sat was so perfect, man. We were in Tyler Tower, which is the grandstands basically on the front stretch, and we are on the very top. And let me tell you, dude, unlike last time where I was in Pearson off the turn 4, man, I could see everything that was happening. Like literally the whole entire race. I could look around the whole track, see what's going on. It was awesome, dude. It was freaking awesome, and I'm definitely sitting there every time.
Yeah, NASCAR seems like one of those events where you got to go to the top of the stands to get the best seat. It's not like front row gets you a good view. It's like, yeah, you can get to see the cars as they pass by, but
yeah, and I don't even think it would be bad if you sat in either corner, but as long as you're higher up.
Oh yeah. So that way you can get like a bird's eye of the entire thing.
Mm-hmm. But Drew, we had a race in which William Byron was just dominating, and the whole time I was at the race, like we would get the cautions, right? I'm like, oh sweet man, we're gonna get something different, and then we'd get around out of turn 2, and I'm like, nope, there it is, it's gone. Byron's gone. He was so fast, man. I thought for sure he would win the race. I'm like, there is no way he loses this thing, man. And he was stinking it up.
He swept the first 2 stages, and I pretty much just accepted at that point. It was like, yeah, this is probably his race. So, but it just didn't work out like that. Wasn't it like a weird caution that kind of fucked up the entire field or something like that? That kind of prevented him from getting good track position?
I think you're right. It was.
Yeah.
I actually believe what it was. It was Reddick and Barry were on the backstretch there. And from my vantage point, the thing is I actually watched the whole thing happen. And I knew it was about to happen when I seen Reddick kind of like pulling past him. And they were kind of side drafting. And I think Reddick got ahead of him. And I think Barry let up a little bit, maybe. And I just knew that it was gonna happen. But yeah, he went to the inner wall there, and which is kind of crazy that I just happened to be watching Reddick because that was my pick for the pool and for the pod. And so I was like, I was rooting for Tyler Reddick, really. Like, not a guy I usually root for, but I'm like, I wanted him to win. So, I'm just watching him, and I'm like, this is about to crash. And then sure enough, Barry, boom, and I was actually like, no, because that was he had one of my favorite schemes, which we'll get into our top 5 schemes from this weekend. A lot of good ones. So yeah, that I think screwed everything up, and I think I think it might have been just pit strategy, like coming off of the pit road, and he kind of lost position.
But yeah, and yeah, well, so after all that went down, wasn't it like Reddick that was leading then?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Reddick
he had a
led
pretty solid
for
lead
quite a while. Quite a while he led for maybe the last, well, not the last.
up until right when
Well,
Blaney passed him. Because when Blaney passed him, that's when the caution got
yeah,
thrown
when
out.
Blaney passed him, there was 4 to go. So probably from when there was, I would say 20 or 30 to go, Reddick was in the lead. And I mean, what an impressive performance though by Blaney to come back from where
Yeah,
he
that
was.
was incredible. Too bad, whatever the fuck it was happened,
Too
and that
bad.
caution got. You know
Too
what? Kyle
bad.
Larson. That's right. That's right.
Brain
Bubba
dead.
Wallace was
Brain dead. Kyle Larson decides
tripped
his
over his dick a second time today.
his team decides we're 167 laps down. We got the car fixed. Let's go back out there. And then he just fucks everything up. And you know what, dude? I'm so sick of it, man. But see, I'm mature, Drew. I can change my opinion. I was pissed.
Mature.
And I thought this is bullcrap. Like he should have never even been back out there. But you got to look at it from his standpoint, right? Last year, he loses the regular season championship by 1 freaking point to shitter puke boy Tyler Reddick. And so you think about it, man. If he just goes out there, even though he's 160 some odd laps down, he's kind of taking his chances that another person will crash out and not be able to finish. So he gets more than 1 point. So, in the grand scheme of things, it could come down to where that really mattered. That 1 point really matters to him. But I think, he even said in post race that he was trying to kind of get out of the way of the leaders and not screw anything up. But in doing so, Bubba Wallace was behind him, and Larson kind of checked up, and Wallace was just going too fast. Didn't anticipate that he was slowing down.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We
And
cannot confirm or deny.
Yep, bumped right into the back of him. But, I don't know. A lot of people are saying, like, Wallace probably did it on that purpose for Denny, but I don't know.
Well, so the one thing people seem to be forgetting though is like, okay, joking aside, if he did do it intentionally, he did it to his best friend. Like he fucked over his best friend so that way his team could help him. And like I understand you're supposed to be like selfish in the sport, but like him and Blaney just seem like way too close for Wallace to do something like that. So
Right, and
I don't
I
know.
understand the relation between,
Yeah, and it's like
you
yeah, you
know,
want your if you can't win, you want your team to win at least. Help the organization as a whole.
yeah. Well,
You
and
know.
it's not like Wallace would anticipate that doing that would allow Hamlin to win.
Yeah, I mean Hamlin was. I mean he was top 10, but he wasn't really a factor until after that last pit stop.
Right. Well, and that's
You
what
know,
it was. Is the pit? Ryan Blaney all day had kind of a sloppy pit crew.
I think he lost like 18 or 19 positions on pit road on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a
Yeah,
whole,
I was
like
watching
that's
it.
insane, especially for like a top tier Ford team. Like you shouldn't be having like 11-second pit stops when everyone else is pulling off 9 seconds.
No, definitely not.
You
And
know,
like
like
I actually was watching him a couple times in the pits, and his team just looks so slow, man. Like
dude, yeah, like really
I don't
sluggish.
I don't know what it is, but and that takes me back to Larson thing is I don't know if you knew this, but he actually had gotten a whole new crew. So you think about it, you gotta they're gonna be coming back to Darlington, right, later in the year. And you wanna see what this pit crew can do. Like, are they it? Are they necessary for us to win races? And also with the car, you got to see how are the adjustments we're making working? Like, do we need to do this? So you're playing all of this out for later on. So it's not really just about the points. It's about understanding the car and how it performs at this track.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, the whole pit crew thing though is like they shouldn't be having this as an issue. I mean,
No.
like I said, they're a top tier Ford team, so they shouldn't be having these really slow and sloppy pit stops. I mean, like that pretty much gave away the race for them because they lost. Well, they weren't top 5 at that point. They didn't really have the best short run speed. They had the long run speed, but it doesn't help when you have 4 to go.
Right. And what I
So
notice about Darlington, Drew, is really if you, on a restart, if you are not in that first or second spot, like,
yeah,
you're basically hands tied behind your back, man. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, I saw Byron all day. He's just up front, and on the restart, it's like you just like where you choose. Probably, I think Byron chose the outside. I think for the most part, and he was just able to shoot forward, man. And that's what happened with Hamlin. He got in the right position off of pit road, and there he was. And dude, he got way so far ahead so quickly, man.
Yeah, Hamlin shot out like a fucking bat out of hell
Yeah,
that last restart.
but
I
I'm gonna
mean, at
go to
least,
the
I mean, Blaney. I mean, he didn't have a bad day at the end of it, but he should have had that race won. You know, but
exactly. And I know
that's
like
also the sport
caution
for you.
shouldn't have happened, in my opinion, that just shouldn't have happened. Like, and honestly, I thought Larson was done. I had forgot about the new DVP rules.
Hmm.
But, I remember last year, I think or maybe it was earlier this year, Blaney had a situation where he wanted to go back out, but NASCAR said he couldn't. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that happened a couple of times last year, and he was
so
very
I can't
vocal about how
say
pissed off he got about that.
like, so obviously, like drivers I like I know would have benefited, probably done the same thing if they could have gotten back out on that track. So
Yeah,
I don't really
yeah,
blame Larson, but it's just kind of, man. Blaney seems to have the worst luck. Like, I swear, dude.
yeah, yeah. For real. I mean,
This year especially, man. I mean, last year it was kind of same situation, but it seems like it's happening more this year
yeah.
for him.
I mean, that's also the ebb and flow of the sport. I mean, guys are gonna have great years, guys are gonna have shit years. You know, and a lot of it's not. Well, I guess a lot of it does have to be on the driver and the team, but a lot of it though is just circumstantial. Like,
Hmm.
a lot of his bad luck wasn't his fault last year. He just got mixed up into something. Vehicle policy was, I think it was like you have 7 minutes to try and fix it. If you can't fix it, your day is done. You know, uh, which I don't even know why they made that a rule in the first place. I never thought of it till Blaney pointed it out. And it's
Right.
like
Yeah. It's just like, how does that make sense?
yeah. I mean, I guess you can see the argument for the post season and when we're in the playoffs when it doesn't really matter, like for like regular season points and all that shit.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, man. But so Denny Hamlin wins the race, and he earned it. Really, his pit crew was on point for that
oh yeah,
last
holy
one.
shit, yeah, where Blaney's was slacking,
Right.
him was off the fucking charts. I mean, when he shot off pit road in front of Byron at that last pit stop, I was like, oh, shit, like
Because,
that
dude,
shouldn't have happened. Like,
like at
what the
Darlington,
hell?
the first pit box right there where Byron had, it is very close to the line right there.
Oh yeah,
So
that
for
means if you've
Hamlin
done it.
to have for Hamlin to have beat him, and I can't remember where Hamlin's pit box was, but it was. I mean, he started third, so I would imagine he was somewhere around third or fourth pit
Yeah, he
box.
was top. He was top. He was in the top 10, and then he just had an incredibly quick pit stop, and then he just shot straight forward and game match.
Hmm. Yeah, so that was impressive. So let's just break down here the top 10 here, Drew. So obviously we talked about Hamlin winning. Byron came in second. We had Christopher Bell in third, Tyler Reddick in fourth, Ryan Blaney in fifth, Chris Buescher in sixth, Ross Chastain in seventh, Chase Elliott in eighth, Ty Gibbs in ninth, and Kyle Busch in 10th. So, Drew, something that stands out to me is, and this has just been kind of over the last year and this year's, is Chris Buescher. But now that him being on RFK, I really feel like Buescher has taken the next step, and he has been very impressive. And on Sunday, he was awesome, man. I mean, he started 14th, so to finish sixth, obviously net positive. But all day it looked like he was working it, man. I mean, he was getting there. And Priest, qualified second, and he was in second behind Byron just as much as Byron was in the lead.
Oh yeah,
But
Priest was hanging up in the front
yeah,
all day. I mean, that was super impressive.
and like,
Especially for a guy that a lot of people have pretty much like lost hope on.
yeah,
Like I think this season so far, when he's got the proper equipment, he's been using it to its fullest extent, and I think this year will be a very good year for him. I'm not going to be shocked if he wins.
right,
Well, I mean, I
right,
will be
exactly.
because like I'll be excited.
Yeah, I'll be happy if he wins. Really,
I mean, he fired off a lot better than I thought he would at the beginning of the season. Because usually when drivers go to a new team, like I try
takes him
not to be,
longer.
yeah, like there's kind of like the gelling period before you guys can like find a good rhythm. And
Yeah,
so I usually give a driver a year, maybe 2 years, in my head at least. Just I act like a NASCAR official all the time, and
You're an asshole.
I am an asshole. I'm a very big asshole, and I'm proud of it. But him and Barry both, honestly. I think I mentioned this with Barry. I mean, like they fired off like phenomenally, like
Mm-hmm.
so far this season. So it's pretty exciting,
Yeah,
and I'm super
yeah, and
impressed with it.
yeah, and what I noticed too is like you had the margin of Byron and Priest, which was like a pretty good length, but then the margin between Priest and third place, which I can't really remember who it was really, was almost just as much of a length between or that gap, and so for Priest to keep that gap for as long as he did at that track is impressive, man. But
Oh my god, yeah.
I
Oh my god, yeah.
I am starting to worry though about Keselowski because these young guys like Busher and Priest are kind of showing him up lately, and really what it is it starts in qualifying. Keselowski has not qualified very well lately, and
No, no, he
his
hasn't.
counterparts Busher and Priest, they're doing very good, and it's just totally shocking.
I mean, they're the young guns,
Yeah, yeah,
and you know, times are changing. I mean, it happens with every driver. Like Brad Keselowski, he's not in his peak anymore. Which is, I mean, and that's fine. He's racked up a considerable amount of wins, a championship. I think two championships actually, one in Nationwide or Xfinity, I mean, and then the other in Cup. And now he has like one of the most successful teams out on the track every week. You know,
well, yeah. I
and I mean, like,
He is a
I
great
don't know.
asset to the team. I'm not trying to at all say that he's bad because I mean last year I felt like he was a decent. I mean like he won here last year.
Yes.
Um it's just to me something I noticed, and I know it'll get better. It's still very early in this season.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
I know
say we're
that,
not even 10 weeks in yet. A lot can turn around for them.
but I am worried about him, but I have faith that he'll start running up with the young guns pretty soon.
Well, and the thing too is this is his first year as a team owner with a three-car team, so I'm also sure too
He's got a lot on his plate for
that's
sure.
yeah. I mean, he's a very busy guy now, and being an owner driver is not an easy role. I mean, you got guys like Kulwicki or Stewart that did it, and they won championships doing it, and they made it look so fucking easy. But
Yeah.
I don't know what it entails, but I already know it's like 18 semi trucks worth of bullshit that comes along with being an owner driver. So and plus two, I mean, I'll be honest, Keselowski and Stewart. I mean, Stewart out drives Keselowski in my head. I mean, three championships, the one championship, like suck it, loser. And one of those championships as an owner driver. But yeah, no, I think there's plenty of time to turn it around. I mean, Keselowski, like I said, this is his first year with like a third team on like at RFK full time, not just part time. And I've noticed with transitional seasons like this, like I'd consider it a transitional one for him because he's got a new team, which means a whole new influx of people, which means a whole lot of other shit you got to do now. I kind of just
Well, yeah. He's kind of
I'm giving
out.
him a
He's
break.
out there.
I'm treating this the same way I treated him when he jumped from Penske over to RFK back in 22 when he was officially announced as like a co-owner of the team and all that. I mean, his first year wasn't a great year there. It was a very rough year. Him and Busher both started off the duels with a win. Like they won both of the Daytona duel races that year. And I was like, shit, you're gonna come in hot. And then they did until later that year at Bristol when Busher got his win. But last season, super impressive. He got that Darlington win. He was still front a lot, you know,
Hmm.
and yeah. So I mean, for this year, if he doesn't win, I'm not gonna like hold it against him. And also too, he's kind of at the point now where, like I said, he's getting up there. He's older. He's not like he's very talented, but he's not as talented as like Harvick or Hamlin or Johnson, like guys like that. In my opinion, I mean, don't get me wrong, he would still outdrive me 1,000,000 to 1. But
Right.
yeah, I think he's just not. I don't know. I'm rambling on about this too much. We should probably move on to the next topic.
Yeah. So, but anything from that top 10 other than what we've already talked about stands out to you? I mean, we kind of already covered everything. I mean, Chastain top 10 finish. Kyle Busch got a top 10, so that's good. He seems to be running a little bit better this year. I don't know how many top 10s he has. I don't know if I can click on him, but I'm
Well,
pretty sure.
NASCAR
He
NASCAR's
has.
website doesn't even have the updated race results yet from this past Sunday. Come on, it was 2 days ago, guys.
Wait, what? Because I'm
You.
looking at it right now.
Oh yeah, maybe I went to the wrong results. Darlington. Okay, there we go. Now it's right. Okay.
Oh, here. This is where I could click on the drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Ty
look at.
Gibbs. I guess Ty Gibbs. I mean, he hasn't really had the best season, so him to walk
No.
away with the top 10, is pretty good. It's a good weekend for him. Maybe boost the confidence within the team. Hopefully not, but kidding.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
trying
think
not to hate. I'm
before.
trying to not hate him as much as I used to. It's not cool to hate people, but it's cool to want him to be hit by a bus, and that's what I wanted to happen to Ty Gibbs. I don't want him to die or anything. Maybe break a few ribs or a leg, but I don't want him to die. It's a short bus full of fat chicks. Well, a fat chick. It's a short bus. She took up all the room.
I finally
Anyways,
found through the So Kyle Busch has 4 top tens, which is included in this last race, and he's kind of just staying steady, staying in that 15-16 range of playoffs. So honestly, if you could just keep it up, I'd love to see you know a Kyle Busch in the playoffs, man. Like,
yeah,
I think that mixes it up a lot from what we had last year.
well, I think too this year Kyle definitely feels like he has something to prove.
Oh,
You know,
definitely, especially
um,
because last year.
yeah, I mean last year he had so many wins, so close, and he just couldn't get it done. And having gone 19 straight years with a season, or like with at least one win per season,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That right
like,
there is impressive in and of itself.
yeah, I mean, him
But
and
to
Richard
not
Petty are
get
both
20,
tied.
yeah,
Yeah, to not get 20 straight years in a row with winning a race
it's got to be
is
gut wrenching.
that, yeah. I mean, he's still tied with Richard Petty for something. But like I was saying last year, there's not a whole lot of Richard Petty things that you can beat. So if you have the opportunity to beat something that he set, it's like a big deal. I mean, no one's ever going to come close to the over 200 wins. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like it used to be. It's not like in the 50s and 60s where they had 3 or 4 races a week. You know, where it was like more frequent versus just like the 36 weeks out of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd have to win at least like 10 races over 20 years minimal, like to get
yeah,
to get to that.
exactly.
So no one's ever gonna touch it.
No,
Well,
I don't
maybe
think so.
never say never, I guess, but
Maybe
yeah.
Priest.
Well, no, because it would have had no, because he's won at least one race since his rookie season, I believe. Yes, his rookie
Who
season.
could you say? Well, like I'm just trying to think of young drivers like Hocevar could start one.
Nope. No, because he would have had to start. Well, I guess if he started now, he would have to win one race till the end of his career.
Yeah,
You
which
know,
he hasn't done.
well, not yet. I mean, this is only his second season, and I mean, Spire's cars have been pretty good. They've been hanging around the you know top 15, top 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um,
But speaking of records, Drew, Denny Hamlin has now moved into the sole possession of 11th place on the all-time Cup Series wins list, passing, I believe, Daryl.
Rusty Wallace. I just realized now that he drives the 11 car and he's 11th all time wins
Yeah.
list.
So
I That just clicked for me.
yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's kind of ironic.
Yo, do you think he's gonna be like, all right, guys, no more winning.
I'm in my spot.
I've found my spot in history. The driver of the 11 car goes down as 11th most in victories.
But 56 wins, Drew, and he is only 4 away from tying Kevin Harvick to get in that top 10 all time. That's crazy, man. That's just crazy to think about. And I think he could win next week, dude.
Like I said it last episode, I'll say it again, but like Hamlin's on fire right now. He didn't really have the
Absolutely.
greatest start to the season. It wasn't terrible by any means, but like the last few weeks he's been
Yeah, I remember the first couple
cooking.
races were really tough for him, man. A lot of mistakes,
Honestly,
a lot of bad luck.
right after they announced Progressive as a primary sponsor for over half the races, it seems like I don't know. I wonder if that was weighing on him potentially, like just getting the sponsorship.
Yeah, he's like, I got this new sponsor. I
And
got to do good.
no. What I was saying was like I don't know how long they've been in talks for, because like usually when you get a big sponsor sign on to your team like that, it's like always preseason. Like seldomly do we ever
Right.
get a big time sponsor joining the
Middle of the season.
yeah or yeah, I guess you could say we were like 5, 7, 8 races in, and they got that. But like you know, I wouldn't be shocked if he's almost, well, I mean, well, with Kyle Busch, when he left Joe Gibbs, they allegedly couldn't find him a primary sponsor, but Richard Childress was able to pull together several primary sponsors pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that kind of interesting how they Joe Gibbs kind of do that? But I'll just slap my nepo baby grandson who Drew Scarman definitely does not hate in the car.
But yeah, they had to have been in talks for a while. Like there had to have been negotiations going on,
Yeah.
and that's why it was holding it up.
Well, and I know too, if they haven't left already, Geico is gonna like be pulling back their sponsorship for NASCAR as one of the preliminary sponsors. So like, like
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
Bush,
yeah. I get what you're saying.
like Bush, Coca-Cola, like shit like that. It's like Geico is on there, but I heard Progressives was kind of nudging their way into that slot. So,
So maybe this is their way of trying to see like how good can this do for us?
well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm no businessman,
Maybe. I don't know
but
really how
the
that kind of stuff works other than like you want your brand on the car because people see it and then
well, the thing too is
it's a
like
marketing ploy.
it's not like back in the day where like you didn't have all these other ways of advertising. Like you had radio, TV, and like newspapers. And then you had like this, you had like simpler, smaller ways like billboards, shit like that. It's not like with social media now where, well, just technology in general, where we have all these screens where it's like for maybe an eighth of what it would cost to get like a billboard on the side of the highway, you could just make an ad on the internet you know.
Exactly.
So like you didn't so like late well so right after the recession in 2008, a lot of sponsors started dipping out of NASCAR, and then by 2020 there was a handful of like known products to sponsor a NASCAR stock car, and because there's different cheaper ways of advertising. But the sport's picking up in popularity right now. I definitely think due to the on-track action, but also due to the Netflix series. Because I mean, for someone who doesn't know the sport, it's going to be a better way to kind of take it all in, watching like a docu series versus watching a race and trying to piece it together as you go.
Mm.
So I don't know, but like a big, 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 big brand like Progressive though, joining a team early on in the season like this, really you don't see that anymore. But it's really good that we're having that because it's not like we had like Mavis Tire. Thank Christ they're gone. That was the worst sponsor ever. I mean they kept the lights on probably, but
They're not there, yeah.
bro, they never had any good paint schemes. They always looked like super cheap and generic to me. Like Mavis Tires seems like some generic ass name I'd see slapped on like a auto shop in Grand Theft Auto.
Drew,
Like,
you say that, and I agree with you. But when he has the Mavis, however you say it, sponsor, dude, I like that car. Admittedly, I know you hate it, but
oh my
I
god,
think Mavis is just it already is generic, like the way that their logo looks, and so it's just it fits what it is.
I guess, but it
But
just didn't look right on a
I'm
stock
with you.
car.
It's kind
It
of
didn't look
plain in
good.
it, but I
It
liked it.
sucked. It was horrible, and I'm glad they left. I'm so happy they left.
But
And we got like a
yeah,
better blue colored car now. It's progressive.
I think seeing Hamlin's scheme this week, the throwback that he had, I think it was Carl Edwards Sport Clips. I, it's kind of a plain car, but I really liked it.
Well, the thing though too is like I don't know. So like the thing with that car, well, even with Sport Clip's car in general is it looks good,
Yeah,
and the Mavis cars just look dog shit. Like I don't know. It is. I don't
we'll
know.
agree to disagree
That's
on
top.
that one, but
It's top tier, disgusting paint scheme in my
gosh, it's
opinion.
not that bad.
Bro, dude, listen. You hate Alex Bowman the same way I hate the Mavis tire decals. I don't know why. I look at it, I see red, and then I
You
punch
just
holes in
can't
the
you
eyes.
can't get
You
behind
know.
it.
Dude, I can't. I'll get in front of it and be like, "Go home," and I'll point like the opposite direction in hopes that it follows my command. But I don't know.
Well, Drew, since we're already talking about paint schemes, we have plenty of other paint schemes to talk about. So
Oh
let's
yeah,
get into our
good
top
ones.
5 in no particular order throwback schemes.
Yes. Yeah. All right, so I guess I'll start off with mine.
All right, what's your first one?
All right, so the first one I have listed in no particular order by any means. My first one I have listed down is Denny Hamlin's Carl Edwards throwback.
All right, let's show the people here in case for anybody. wants to see it.
And I think it's throwing it back to when he was sponsored by Office Depot. I almost want to say it's the I don't
No,
know. Well, it's definitely
no,
an Office
because
Depot paint scheme, but I don't know if it was like the one he was racing with
well, I don't know
in
because
like '09.
I was listening to Action Detrimental today, and Hamlin was well. They were saying that like it made sense to go with this because Edwards was actually sponsored by Sport Clips at one point.
Oh yeah, yeah. When he was with Joe Gibbs, they were one of
But
his
you could be
sponsors. So
right; it could actually be trying to.
well, I don't recall. Well, so the thing with sports clips is like their paint schemes are usually I don't know. They really don't incorporate a lot of black, unless I'm wrong. I don't know. I've been wrong plenty of times on here, but I yeah, I think it was throwing it back because like on the website where I was getting all the info from this, it said 2000s era Carl Edwards throwback. So Sport Clips wasn't really with them at the time.
Oh, okay.
They yeah, he had when he was racing for Roush, he had like well, I mean, Fastenal's been with them for a long time. He had Office Depot, Scott's Turf, they were on there as well. Yeah, yeah, and Office Depot. Yeah, Office Depot. Anyways,
Anyways,
going
onward.
moving to the yes, going to the next one. I have Joey Logano's number 22 Cale Yarborough throwback to his 1976 championship year. It's sick. And bonus points for the sponsor throwing it back to an old logo of theirs. That's always the best.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Drew, seeing this one, and what's not shown is the other side of this car, the 22 that you see right here on the side. It actually has a circle around it, so that's a little different. But I did like this one. It wasn't. It's not in my top five, and not really not because like I don't think it's good or anything. It's just I thought there was other ones that were better. But yeah, no, this is a cool one, man, and it was cool seeing it in person. And I don't know if it was because of the red and yellow, but or how the sun was hitting it or what. But when I was there, it kind of looked more orange.
Yeah, yeah, that very well could be.
Yeah, but
But
all right. Well, what you got next, Drew?
all right. Next, I have the 24 of William Byron, throwing it back to Jeff Gordon's final start in the Cup Series back in 2015.
Very cool, and I always love flames like that on a car. It's just classic.
The what gets this for me, as in my top five, is the flames on the silver. That's rad, and it
Mm-hmm.
looked just as great when Jeff Gordon drove it back in the Gen 6 car.
Yep.
And then, see, that'd be three. Wait, let me get my list back up here. Oh, yes. So next I have the number 2 of Austin Thunder, throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt's 1979 and 1980 paint schemes.
Yep.
1980 being his second year in Cup and also his first championship season in Cup. So,
Mm-hmm.
impressive. Though
Yep.
I will say the Freightliner logo kind of is like a blemish on it, in
So
my opinion,
yeah,
because it's
I
just it's not like the Shell Pennzoil one where like it complement like the sponsor complimented the paint scheme. I mean with Freightliner, it's like, come on guys, you guys, Freightliner's been out, god damn, probably before 1970. Like it's been around for a long time.
yeah. Well,
Would it
because
have
Drew,
killed to like?
if you've
Well,
seen the side by side of this one and what it was, what it was trying to throw it back to, right where the Freightliner is would have been Wrangler, I believe, in
yeah,
yellow lettering. And
yeah,
so when I saw that and then I saw this, I'm like, man, they ruined it with that. Seeing it in person, I'm like, you know what? I actually like it better seeing it in person than when I saw it online. But I still think they should have made that Freightliner. They could have easily made that yellow, and
yeah.
that
Well,
would have
I
made it a
know
whole lot.
I know part of the problem with these throwback schemes with like throwing it back to paint schemes that had bigger companies on it is if the okay, all right. For
Well, it's all what the
instance,
company wants, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, for instance, Pennzoil, adjusting their logo or whatever to help like fit the Cale Yarborough throwback on Joey Logano's car.
Mm-hmm.
They probably had to go through the ringer of getting
Oh,
it
yeah.
approved by the former sponsor or whatever because like I
Yeah, you can get
remember
sued.
the first round of Kyle Larson wrecking a Terry Labonte car, the problem they ran into was they wanted to put the HendrickCars.com in the same font style as the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes,
Oh yeah.
but they had a I guess it was hills and valleys of bullshit to go through just to get that approved.
Did they have to pay him?
I don't know how all that works, dude. I'm just a simple
Man,
NASCAR.
I can imagine that like doing all
But
this is a shit show.
so, well, I mean, I personally myself, I think it's worth it because it's always good to call, but like to throw it back to like where the sports come from, you know,
Exactly. It's the
and
reason
especially
why
when they
they're
do
here.
it good and not like Chase Elliott's team, where they have a dog shit paint scheme that I would gladly wipe my ass with several times over. But so like I
Which
think the issue though with like Cindric's car, I guess the point I'm trying to make is like if they would have had it in the same font as Wrangler or whatever,
yeah, like it was block lettering
it's
basic
cutting.
almost.
Yeah,
And if they had it in
yeah,
yellow
yeah. And I don't know, I don't know. Like, yeah, knowing what I know from the whole like Kellogg's Hendrix debacle, when they wanted to do the throwback the first time around, I kind of understand why they didn't follow suit with just putting Wrangler, like they did on Dale Earnhardt's car.
yeah, it would have been too
But
much a hassle.
at the same time, you could have at least used a throwback Freightliner logo. Unless this has been their logo for years. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the
I don't
company.
know. I mean,
Yeah, the sponsor's a little blemished, but overall though, I really appreciated this car because nobody
mhm.
really throws it back to this era of Dale Earnhardt. Usually,
Yeah,
if they
no,
do, it's like,
it was cool, man. I
yeah,
loved
I mean,
seeing it.
not a whole lot of people throw back to like this era of Earnhardt's career. I think the only ones I can think of the only person I can think of besides Dale Jr. throwing it back to his dad's Wrangler days was Haley Deegan, the thirst trap herself, who got booted from NASCAR and went to IndyCar and is doing Lord knows what now. Probably OnlyFans. No, living a great life, probably. She threw it back to Dale Earnhardt's number 15 Wrangler from back in the day, which I appreciated, but like nobody else really seems to do that.
Yeah.
And
No, it is
so
nice
it's
when you
nice
see it.
seeing this era
Yeah.
get the
And
recognition it
that
deserves.
thing pops, dude. When you see it in real life, man, it just
Oh, I
pops
can
out at you.
imagine. Oh yeah, well yeah, the
It's really
blue and the
cool.
yellow are. I mean, those are such warm,
It's
bright
eye catching,
colors.
man.
Yeah, yeah. It's so you can also imagine too how jarring it was when Earnhardt went from blue and yellow to straight up black. You know,
Yeah.
it was something else. But for my fifth and final entry, I'm going to be going with the little scene on TV, number 44 of J.J. Yaley, throwing it back to Bill Elliott's 1985 season. It's a damn shame that this didn't get seen on. Oh, you passed it. Come on, Benny. There you
So
go.
yeah, dude, this thing was sweet and like way to match the freaking,
Yeah, this
the
was
gold
pretty
rims like how
on.
it was.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm a sucker for colored rims. Like, I really wish more teams would bring it back. Like, Penske used to have the rims match the primary color of the car, and it was satisfying as shit watching. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know. It just more dopamine gets released in my head, I guess, because I'm a man
Yeah.
child and stuff like
Yeah.
that entertains me. No, big ups to Wawa because like honestly, this game fucking slaps. like
Right.
I just
This is
I just wish he had
classic,
a
man.
better day.
Yeah. It would have been nice if he didn't pretty much finish last.
Yeah. Come on, JJ, dude. We just started being your fans. Step it up, dude. Ah,
Yeah. Come on the
bro,
pod.
dude, dude, come on the pod for free and don't hate us,
And
and
give
then
me some free
shamelessly plug
Wawa.
us. Yeah, dude. Yeah, send me some Wawa shit, and then I'll wear it into Quick Trip here and start a gang war. Yeah. All those Wisconsinites are gonna be pissed off, dude. Be like, "What the fuck is that Wawa shit doing in here?" And I'll be like, "I've turned to the other side," and then I'll be pelted with Quick Trip, oddly flavored milks like the root beer. Yeah. Shout out to Quick Trip. I love you, Quick Trip. Shout out to Quick Trip. They get to the food pantry. I go bum off of every month. That's what's up. All right.
So
So
Drew, here's mine. I pretty much remember what I already told you, but since I'm
yeah.
already over here, 43 of Eric Jones, throwing it back to who's this throwing it back to again? Is it Waltrip
Uh, no,
or
it's true. I think
or
somebody said it was like the Andretti paint scheme, but I don't recall that
no?
being the paint scheme when John Andretti raced for RPM back in the day. But the I don't know. It's a throwback to an old STP paint scheme, which is funny because Notice how there's no STP anywhere on the fucking car.
I know. Advent Health.
And me and you didn't even notice this till like pre-show when we were going through all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, there's no STP on here.
But there's a Dollar Tree.
Yeah, you got Dollar Tree and you got Advent Health, I guess. I don't know.
So then I'll go to. Oh, by the way, this is nice. The like old logo on it. Like they just the same sponsor. I don't think it's really. It's not throwing it back to anybody. It's just throwing it back to Long John Silver's. Which, by the way, we already talked about this. Who the hell goes to Long John Silver's anymore?
You know what? Funny enough, I was listening to DBC earlier today, and they asked the exact question. Like, who the fuck eats at Long John Silver's? And then there's just they had I forget the name of their guest, but the guest that they had on this week was like, "Oh, I still go to Long John Silver's."
And they're like, no
The-
way.
dude, hand to God, if there's a Long John Silver's around me, I would go to it. Dude, I'm a sucker for fried
I
fish.
remember going there like when I was younger, man, and like it was good.
And it's like, I don't know why so many people bag on Long John Silver's, but it's like, I don't know. I like fried seafood. Uh,
Right.
and who doesn't
I
love
do
a good
too.
hush puppy? Who doesn't love a good hush puppy
Oh
from
yeah,
Long John
man.
Silver?
Oh yeah, man. So that wasn't
But
part of mine, but I just wanted to
honor,
point that one out. And then and the
we
numbers
could
on the
we
side.
could just that is both of our honorable mention because
Yeah, it's got to be.
I just really love everything about that. All right,
Oh,
so next,
here's one. This car,
yes,
I
the
know you
Jim
and I
Clark
had
Indy
talked
Throwback.
about this. You and I had talked about this car, and I I know you had some issues with it. Uh,
Yeah, it's grown
I
on me since
thought,
last episode. I won't
but
lie.
yeah, and I'm like, I think it's cool, but I wasn't really in love with it. But then I saw it in person, going around the track, and I'm like, I love that car, and that's amazing. So,
Yeah, the photos on the internet definitely didn't do it any justice. It looked a lot better on TV.
and it was very fitting though that they did this because it was they're celebrating 75 years of the Wood Brothers.
Oh yeah, and it's also this March, May, whenever the hell we had the Indy 500. That it's the anniversary because this was the scheme that was on the car that they helped out with in '65. So it's
Okay,
the yeah, so it was 60 years ago, which is batshit insane to think about.
I
You know,
know, and
just because like a few of the guys that were on the team are still kicking. And it's like, oh my lord, it's a
yeah,
day by day with you, isn't it? Not
and
really. Please live forever. I love you, Wood Brothers. I love you, Josh Berry. Come on the pod.
yes, Josh
Give
Berry,
me,
please.
give me free merch.
Yeah,
I'll
you
wear
know
your
what? No,
swag.
he owes you free merch. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that's well, yeah,
Well, I guess nobody owes you nothing, but anyways,
yeah.
something I
I'm not
should
gonna.
note too, Drew, and I don't know if they showed this on TV because it was pre-race, but Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer actually drove in two of the old Wood Brothers cars. It was like a Mercury and
Oh yeah. They did show that on TV. They had cameras on the inside, and they were talking to Kevin and Clint as they were going around. I believe.
dude, that was so cool to see them go around with like, dude, it was actually just unbelievable. I'm like, dude, like that's like an old ass like muscle car, bro.
What you need to do is if those Willie Jimmies, go back and watch the 1979 Daytona 500. Best race in history for NASCAR.
Really?
So many, yeah, there's so many reasons, but all the cars look like fucking gods. It's glorious.
Yeah.
That, yeah, and what's really crazy too is that's the first time STP started pulling back from Richard Petty.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like I don't even think STP was on the car when he won that race. Spoiler. I don't know. Good time. Good times. But yeah, if those cars really did it in for you, go rewatch like any race from like that era. Also, one thing
Yes, I think I
the
will. I am gonna listen
the
to this.
the the other thing you probably didn't see this, but on TV when Boyer and Harvick got out of the cars, well, Boyer got stuck in the car because like the belts were like the original belts and they just weren't as good as they used to be, so like he got stuck in there for a little bit. And then when they're
Oh, I
going
didn't know
out of the
any of this.
car, when they were getting out of the car, you could just see these pit stains through their armpits. They were huge. He pointed it out on TV. I was pissing myself. But before we move on from the 21, though, I don't know if you they told you this at the track or anything like that, but Wood Brothers is going to also run that paint scheme when they run the Brickyard in a couple months, or next month, I should say.
They may have said that. I maybe just didn't hear, but
Yeah,
that's
no,
cool,
because
man.
oh yeah. So the car's gonna come back at the Brickyard next month. I
Awesome,
believe it's
dude. Let's
next month.
go, man. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah,
This is my other one, Drew. What am I? This is my third one. Yep, the 20 car. Originally, I didn't like this car all that much, but seeing it there at the track again, it's like a lot of these, man. A lot of these paint schemes, and I said this last time when I went to the Southern 500. Like a lot of cars that I always hated, like watching on TV. I'm like, I don't really like that car. You see it there, and you're like, dude, this car is awesome. I just thought this was cool, and I was actually where I was sitting, like, it was a good view for me, like where his car was parked on pit road. I could see it really well. Seeing the other side of it, it looks better. But I love this DeWalt, and you got the old DeWalt font or whatever or
yeah.
logo,
So
and
this was,
it
yeah,
works.
this was a throwback to Christopher Bell's racing mentor. I forgot to write his name down. Where's that?
Yeah, his mentor.
It's Rick Ferkel is his name, and I believe he's passed on since then.
Mm,
So this was a lot of people were shitting on it. Well, I mean, people in general shit on paint schemes that throw it back to like just like late model days or whatever series Rick helped Bell race in, because everybody's like, oh, you got to throw it back to like big names. Some people just get sentimental and they'll throw it back to people that have helped them along the way.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. This one got a lot of unnecessary hate, in
for
my
sure.
opinion. Like it wasn't the best, but like a lot of people were shitting on it. Not as much as Chase Elliott's car, but
Hmm.
a lot of people were just shitting on it because they didn't recognize it. Just like Chase Elliott's car, we
It
didn't know what the
wasn't. It
fuck that was
wasn't
supposed
that
to be.
bad. I was shitting on it before, but when I got there, I'm like, that car is actually not that bad. It's actually kind of nice. But
Yeah,
this is a sick one, by the way. This fifth third Busher car. Just gonna say that real quick as I'm going through here. This is another one of mine. I mean, obviously I love Blaney, but I don't always love his paint schemes. You guys got to remember that. But this one was sweet, man. And I almost saw the damn thing win if it weren't for Larson.
damn you, Larson.
But yeah, this was
Damn
him throwing
you.
it back to his own dad, which I thought was really cool, man. And wow, actually, I didn't get to see the other side of the car really because the backstretch is so far away I can't really tell. But the other side, there's actually more red on it, like a stripe. And
Yeah.
but seeing this, man, wow, I love it even more, man. It looks great. The 12 on there, and I think everything is just blended in so well. Like with the Dutch boy, that's perfect. And then the Menards, it's just like it looks like a classic.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the original design. The only difference
Is
was,
it? I didn't even see the original one.
well, so the only difference, well, actually no, the two differences are, instead of the blue, it's like a darker green, and it has yellow, but it's not as bright as the Menards yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overall, it's still a great scheme, and he's throwing it back to his dad. And I think that's the only race when an Xfinity Dave Blaney got. I think that might be his one win. I can't
Oh wow.
remember where he won, but he only has one race win to his name in NASCAR, and I think retarded race car driver. No, retired race car. Yep, 2006 Dollar General 300 at Charlotte.
Wow.
Great throwback. All right, so I think you have one more.
I'm gonna pick none other than the car that I believe at the track they said it
Fucked
won
over Byron.
paint. um, they ran a poll actually, and or some fan voting for best paint scheme, throwback scheme, and I believe Larson had won. And I mean, I can
Oh
see
yeah,
why. I mean, this is an absolute classic, like amazing paint scheme, and they even got the we talked about this with the whole branding thing, like with the Kellogg's lettering
yeah.
with HendrickCars.com, and then they got the Got cars. We have over 30,000 online now. Like, dude, this thing is just so beautiful, man. Seeing it, I was so
Well,
happy to see it.
and the thing too is a lot of like current fans don't remember this, but like back in the day, you probably saw this growing up too. But like remember how we used to get so hyped up for toys and cereal boxes? Like I remember
Yeah,
Kellogg's
yeah, yeah.
having I remember having Kellogg's have the Terry Labonte cars in them. He's getting so fucking hyped for him because like I got a free toy and delicious num nums.
Yeah.
And genuinely, after seeing this, I'm probably gonna buy some Frosted Flakes.
Oh, God.
Dude, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking crush cereal. I'm so glad I can have it again.
I used to, man. I don't really eat cereal no more.
Oh, dude, you gotta get back into it, dude.
Every once in a while, we'll have
Pick
some.
up the bowl. Dude, it's the ultimate single man dinner too. I mean, like, just chilling out here by myself playing Skyrim or whatever, just fucking eating Frosted Flakes, feeling happy about my life choices. Good times, great times.
But yeah, Drew,
Yeah, it's a
awesome
damn shame
Hastings.
that car didn't have a better day though, because that was a sick car.
I know. And like you were saying, it's like it seems like every time he throws it back to Labani, freaking
He
it's
just wipes out at some point. It's like,
yeah.
dude,
He
stop
should
throwing it
stop
back to
doing it.
Texas Terry
Stop
Labonte,
doing
dude.
it. But
For the love of God.
Drew, we have a race coming up on Sunday at Bristol Motor Speedway, and it's a race in which I believe
Oh, is it a night race? Please let him have 2 night races this year.
I gotta check, brother.
I can check
Schedule.
my schedule here. I was gonna say
It is.
I got all the
You say it.
no.
I already got it up, but you say it.
God damn it!
Nah, it's that 3 o'clock. Well, 2 for you. But Bristol
Bristol Under the
last year,
Lights is the
Drew.
best race.
Bristol last year, Drew. It was like
Well,
we
this is
still
where we
put
had this is where we had our issue.
amazing tires, and it was awesome, dude. And I mean, I think it's gonna be kind of different only because of the weather.
Yeah.
It was very cold there last time.
Well, weather and time of day. You got to remember that
Right,
because when it's light out, the track can heat up more from the sunlight.
right.
So
But
that'll be a factor in this too.
yeah, it's supposed to be way warmer than it was last year, this race.
Good, good,
And so
good.
the tire wear is going to still be a factor. It's still going to be awesome. But
Well,
yeah,
I don't think it'll be as big as last year's though, because like last year's the tires were just falling off.
mm-hmm,
Where like
yeah,
teams are going through tires so fast. NASCAR had to give them all like each team another set of tires to get through the race. Like
yeah.
they've never had to do that before. It was insane, and I hope to Christ they can somehow replicate that this year, and we can get another amazing.
Yes, sir. And Drew, with all that being said, it's time for us to pick. Last week I picked Reddick, you picked Busher, so Reddick placed fourth and Busher sixth, so we were pretty close to each other last week, and now I have a 160 to 146 lead, so beating you by 14, which is not very much if you consider our point system and how it is, but since I won last week, I will get to pick. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin. I think he's going to get 3 in a row, man. This is a track he's very good at.
Oh yeah,
I
really
mean,
good at Bristol.
he's got
Well,
a
he's
great
really good at every
history.
track. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah,
How do you get 65 wins
he's a
or
he's a
55?
veteran driver. I mean, but I do think that he's going to get his third race in a row, third win in a row. So, who do you got?
I'm feeling risque. I'm gonna go with Ryan Preece.
All
I
right, dude.
I just want to. I
This
just
was
want to.
not too long ago. I'm gonna look back.
Yeah, I chose him a few weeks ago
Oh, you
at
chose him for
Martinsville.
Martinsville.
Yeah, I chose him for Martinsville, and he didn't disappoint me then. And this is arguably my favorite short track. I don't know why it's my favorite short track. This in my head, Bristol, especially at night, is a crown jewel in my head. I don't understand why there's not enough hype around.
I wish they would do the dirt race, man.
I wouldn't mind seeing the dirt race back, but I'd like to see it at a different track. I love Bristol
Yeah,
too much
it would
to
be
put dirt
nice to do
back
that.
on.
It would be
Yeah.
nice. Man,
Well, like
imagine if they
go to
did.
Eldora. I mean, I think that's a big enough track. Tony Stewart owns it. It'd be a great way to maybe mend the fences between him and NASCAR. I mean, since he left kind of chapped at the entire sport.
Yeah, I was almost thinking. I think it would be cool to have like a dirt race at Las Vegas.
Oh, I don't know. A mile and a half dirt track
No,
that's a lot. Well, I mean, it probably could be done. I
no,
just
but
don't
you're
know.
right. That's too much, man.
And the thing too is like I don't know if Vegas is. No, I think Vegas has lights all around because like if you race dirt during the day, it's a lot harder to see. But at night, when the lights are shining through it I don't know. It's easier for people to watch. Like at there and at home as well. So
Yeah. Well, you could do a lot of like.
yeah, and I mean, I guess never say never. But I don't see them putting dirt down in Vegas. Yeah.
How about Iowa, dude? That would be
All right, so that one I could see.
perfect. It's Iowa. I mean, all it is fucking dirt and shit anyway.
Dude, all it is nothing but cornfields. And what's
Corn and
cornfields
shit.
got? Dirt. Dirt and John Deere. That's all they got there. Juan Deere. Too bad you're not Kubota and we don't love you, John Deere.
Yeah, screw you, bro.
Dude,
Nothing
Kubota
runs when it's
orange
a
all the
deer.
way. That's right. The only thing a deer gets is hit by my fucking truck.
That's what I say. That's what I say when I talk about John Deere. I'm like, John Deere. Nothing runs when it's a deer. Because
Damn
John Deere
right.
blows.
I told John Deere sponsors the sponsorship, and they were like,
Dude,
dude, you know what's great? John Deere. I fucking love John Deere tractors so much. Such a changed man.
I like
I've
Toro, dude.
seen my ways. I've seen my bad ways.
We use Toro at work for everything. Well, we do have John Deere. We do have John Deere, but
And you have one Kubota.
we do have a Kubota.
One Kubota. But you said it was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it kind of
Awful.
sucks.
Yeah.
It kind of
Come
sucks.
on. Chastain, hook him up with some free Kubota tractors. Do it now.
I'll never talk bad about them if you get me something.
Oh, yeah.
Free stuff talks, Chastain. But yeah, no,
Right.
dude, if they were ever to have a Toro sponsor, man, I'd be all.
I think Toro's in the sport.
Is it really?
No, it was
I'm
for a
not-
little while. It was, I think your first season they were kind of on their way out. But I know like in 21 and 22, I don't know, either season they joined with Ty. Nope, it wasn't him. I was thinking of Ferris. You know what? Now I think about it, I don't think Toro's been in the sport. I don't know. We're getting way off topic here.
Yeah. Let me, Drew, I'm gonna pull up because just so we can get a little preview of past results. Bristol.
Oh yeah, do they have the odds up yet?
That I don't know, but I'm gonna pull this up. Maybe if you can pull that up. So let's go over what happened so Denny Hamlin won this race. The Food City, was it Food City? Yeah. And why are they not showing me the freaking how they finished? Oh my gosh. Because I clicked on Hamlin and not on the actual race. There we go. So yeah, was Bristol the race or was that Richmond where Truex got pissed at Hamlin and off
Richmond.
the restart? Oh, okay.
Richmond. Yeah.
Never mind then. Okay, so I'm just looking at this. We had, Keselowski. So it was Hamlin 1, and it was Truex, Keselowski, Bowman, Larson, John Hunter Nemechek, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell. Okay, now let me look at the fall race and see how that. Man, I might pick Buescher or Larson in my pool.
Ooh.
Because he is looking good in these races, man. What he actually won it. Buescher won it in 22. But I don't know. Did you find the odds?
Or Bristol?
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about Bristol? Oh, yeah. No, he won the night race in the fall of 22.
Mm-hmm.
No, I started ADHDing out in my brain. Actually, don't they have the odds on the website?
I'm not, honestly, I don't know. Maybe they do.
Bet Center? So, there we go. Food City 500. So, yeah, best odds right now is Kyle Larson at 490.
Really?
Denny Hamlin's sitting at 500. Seabell at 650. Blaney at 800. Elliott at 900. Byron at 1200. Yeah.
I just pulled up they have Hamlin at plus 400, Larson at plus 450, Blaney at plus 650, Bell 650, Chase Elliott 850.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
I don't know how sports betting works.
Well, basically, if the number is minus, that means like they're closer to winning, basically. Plus, the lower the number, basically, it means like the better chance of them winning.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Anyways, we should wrap this up. We're over.
Yeah, we should, man. Good podcast, and guys, thanks for listening. Again, follow us on X at NASHoles Pod, on Instagram at NASHoles_podcast, and please subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on the Spotify. Keep that notification bell on. And leave some comments and let us know who you think is going to win at Bristol. Give us any of your NASCAR takes, and we will read them out and let you know what we think about it.
Yes.
So, see you next week after Bristol.